Sig, we're back
Yeah,
with
you
the
stole my bit,
blue.
bitch.
We're back with the blue fuck. I didn't steal anyone's bit. You just said Sega.
So, anyways, we are back today with the greatest Sonic game of all time, Episode 2. I'm stealing your intro now.
Why did you do that? Yes. While we're in the middle of our Half-Life playthrough, a game series full of episodes and whatever else, and no number threes to be seen. We are doing the Sonic equivalent. It's much less epic. But it's Sonic 4 Episode 2. Well, actually, we're doing Episode Metal today because this is just part of the game. It's essentially a mini level pack for Episode 1, where you play as Metal Sonic, who controls exactly like regular Sonic.
But it's Metal Sonic, so it's cooler.
This has the coolest cutscenes in the series, or not the series as a whole, the Sonic 4 series. um, I just kind of I like how this sort of bridges the gap between the two games, because it is very obvious that Episode 1 and 2 are just completely different games. They didn't exactly have Episode 2 planned from the very beginning. It isn't some massive conspiracy that they were working on or anything. No, they just made Episode 1. They called it Episode 1 because they realized that the mobile game that they called Sonic 4 was too small. So they called it Episode 1 in the hopes that the game would do well so that they could make an Episode 2. And that's essentially what this is.
Yeah, this is Sonic the Portable 2.
This is Sonic the Portable 2. But as a sequel to Sonic the Portable 2 is pretty cool. IMO.
Yeah. I don't know if I brought this up on like in a commentary before, but I've called this the most forgettable Sonic game of all time.
And do you still agree with that?
Yeah, and to kind of explain my reasoning in case I didn't explain it before. Like, Sonic 4 Episode 1 is bad. You're going to remember it. This game is the most 5 out of 10 Sonic game I've ever played. It is perfectly fine. Everything works. And that's all I can say about it.
I think you're wrong, because I think Episode 1 and 2 are very comparable in quality overall. Episode 2 just has nicer graphics. And they're
I'd say
both
Episode
just
2 is
kind
a
of...
lot more fun to play.
I think they're both just okay. I think Episode 1 actually has better level design.
Ooh.
Which, never. I don't think anyone's ever said that.
Yeah, but I think the gimmicks in the original stages of Episode 2 help it more.
I mean, that's fair. I do like I'm the biggest Sonic 4 shill that there is, and you know that.
We all know.
Yeah, so I will sing the praises of both games eternally, but I do think that Episode 2's level design suffers from the tag team mechanics, because you don't get a lot of the multi-tiered stuff that even Episode 1 has, you look I mean, it probably won't matter much to most people, but if you look at a level map of Splash Hill versus the Sylvania Castle. Sylvania Castle has maybe 2 routes in its whole thing. It's mainly 1 route for the whole stage. Whereas Splash Hill Act 1 has, it has at least 3, and that's true for all the acts in Episode 1. Episode 2 primarily has 1 to 2 paths for each of its stages. There's only maybe 1 exception to that. And that would be Sylvania Castle Act 2, I want to say. Well, no, yeah, Act 2, yeah, that one has quite a few paths to it. But I only know this because I've played these games more than anyone ever should. But that's just... Fuck.
I mean,
Dimps.
you memorized it enough to memorize a path that you can only get to off screen, and you were trying to break it anyways.
Yep.
And then you failed.
That wasn't memorization, because I don't ever play episode metal that much, to be honest.
Does it have different layouts for the levels?
Yeah. Like they kind of, it's kind of like episode Shadow and Forces, where it takes one of the levels as a base, and then it adds a whole bunch of obstacles, changes some things around, that sort of thing.
Oh, he's so cool.
He's got a big forehead.
I don't care. He's so cool.
This whole time we haven't even talked about fucking Metal Sonic.
I mean, what's there to say? He's here.
This is the first playable appearance of Metal Sonic in a 2D Sonic game. Can you believe that?
I mean, if this were the first playable Metal Sonic in a game, that'd be something, but you know.
I just lied, because you can play as Metal Sonic in the Rivals games, and I completely forgot about that. So never mind.
No one remembers the Rival games. Maybe those are the most forgettable Sonic games.
I think
it doesn't help that I haven't played it, so I can't really
true.
say anything.
I think the Rivals games, considering I love the Rivals games, and I just forgot they existed, they're probably the most forgettable Sonic games.
Yeah, I mean, this still has Sonic 4 attached to it, so you will remember it.
Yeah.
But you're most likely going to think of Episode 1 first.
Like, if you think of Episode 1, surely you're going to be like, oh yeah, there's an Episode 2. No,
Episode 3! You missed a ring and I hate you.
I'm the saddest person in the world knowing that there will never be an Episode 3. You have no idea how much this means to me. It means more than I can describe in words, honestly.
And I don't think I want to know.
I wanted Knuckles. I wanted the remixed Blue Sphere special stages. I wanted the random rehashes of Sonic 3 levels. Yeah, the special stages
were always pretty decent in these.
Yeah. I think the Episode 2 special stages are some of my favorites in the series, honestly. But we're not going to see that for a little while. I think we might end the part with a special stage, but I don't know. Half of this part is episode metal, so.
So you know where all my memory of episode metal comes from?
What?
So when this first came out, there was a bug. I don't know if it was like specifically with older Apple devices, but obviously I played this on my iPod. And I had really wanted to play episode metal because, I had episode 1. So it's like I was going to get the lock-on bonus. But for some reason, episode metal specifically would crash every single time you loaded the first level for like half a year.
Huh.
It took forever. I had beaten the game fully and just sat there staring at Metal Sonic, being like, my boy, I want to play as you so badly. I was so sad. Then I finally got to play it. And it was amazing.
You really,
that's all I have to say.
You really want to know what episode metal should have been. It really should have been like a Sonic 4 complete type thing, where they let you play all of episode 1 with the episode 2 physics, just replacing the original physics, and they let you play as Tails as well. That's what it really should have done, because then it would have actually felt like a lock-on technology thing, which is what they were trying to emulate with this. They were like, remember lock-on for Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Yeah, the episode metal is the lock-on for Sonic 4. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's just a 4-level pack from episode 1 with some altered level design.
Funny enough, this isn't even where I first learned about lock-on.
Yeah?
That was Lego Star Wars.
Lego Star Wars has lock-on?
Yeah. If you have save data from the first game, I guess it saves all the first game's models in there. So when you load up the second game, you can get a cheat code that activates all of the that imports all the models from the first game.
Huh.
So you can play as all the characters from the first game.
Well, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. They have like all
Yeah,
the
but-
animation. They have all like almost all the animations though from the second game. So it's a little
Yeah.
awkward in places.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
it's
the
pretty
thing,
cool.
though, is that like originally lock-on technology specifically referred to the fact that the and Knuckles cartridge of the Genesis had an extra cartridge slot on the top of it for you to put other Genesis games in.
Yeah,
So it's
but
not
Nintendo never
exactly
did
the
anything with
same.
lock-on, so
Yeah, it's not the same. This is literally just, oh, you have Sonic 4 on you have episode 1 on your device, well then you get episode Metal and episode 2. So buy both, please. Cuz yeah, this is the last level. We're already fucking done with this.
See, I actually really like this as a way to bring in other playable characters.
Yeah, I just wish
I
it
don't
was
care if it's heavy reuse of assets, because it's like, at the end of the day, I'm just happy to play as the character I like. That's why I like episode
yeah.
Shadow Forces so much.
I love episode Metal as the Sonic 4 shill. I love everything about Sonic 4. But I just wish it was what I said earlier instead.
Yeah.
Like
I
I would
does
love
the same
to.
thing, so I'd love to see Blaze return and something like that. Doesn't have to be like fully original moveset or anything. It can just be like Sonic's moveset but with Blaze, and like I'd be fine with that.
I think, you bringing up Rush reminds me. I think, or it makes me realize. I think the real true reason I like Sonic 4 as much as I do is because, as sad as it is, this is the continuation of the Dimps Sonic games on console, and we don't get anything more after this. And I want
We have Sonic
want-
Lost World.
Lost World on Dimps 2D Sonic game on console is what I said.
Oh, this
That's
is the only
what
time.
This is the only.
And it's clear it
game.
wasn't supposed to be on console.
Yeah, it's clear it wasn't. But the point I'm trying to get at is I want Sonic Rush 3 and /or Sonic Advance 4 and /or something new from Dimps
Yeah.
as a 2D Sonic game for consoles.
If I can say
nowadays.
anything about this game, this is the one Dimps Sonic game that feels like Sega left all the design to Dimps for. Versus any of the others where Dimps was mainly there to make assets and program and shit.
I don't know if that's true. I know nothing of the development of this game other than Ken Balo was the director, and he was in all the interviews, and it was funny. But
So I'm going to assume he was Dimps staff because I don't think he worked for Sega.
yeah, I mean he was
'Cause,
definitely
if you look at all the design and lead stuff of all the other Dimps games, it's Sega employees. It's Sonic Team employees.
Listen, he was dedicated to Sonic 4 because for the reveal of episode 2, he did an interview with IGN, and he shaved his beard and dyed it into the shape of Tails' tails, and it was fucking awesome. I love Ken Balo so much. And he's gone. He's gone forever from Sonic. And it really, the whole crux of my argument here is I want a new modern Sonic, 2D Sonic game, in general. I don't necessarily want Sonic Team to do it, though that would be cool. I just want a new take on 2D Sonic. We haven't had that in a long time.
Sonic Superstars.
Sonic Superstars is like it's like your dad's pickup band who's past his prime, but he's still trying,
Commendable effort, but we
It's a
kind of
com-
wish he would stop.
It's a commendable effort, but goddamn, do something new. But as you can see from the gameplay here, I played this game too much, as I've said 3 times already. I love this game. It's so fun. The physics, honestly, feel really nice in this. It's still not one-to-one classic Sonic.
Oh yeah,
But
I
it-
don't think it ever really needs to be.
No, but it does feel like a nice refinement of the Sonic 4 physics, because I do have my problems with the physics in Sonic 4 Episode 1. Believe it or not, it's not a perfect game.
Sylvania Castle, everybody.
Yep, that was Sylvania Castle. I really like this as an opening stage. I like a castle
Yeah, it
level.
looks
I mean,
good.
I know it is aquatic ruin, to a T, but I like it. It's cool. I want more castle themes in Sonic.
Yeah, Hank Castle was fantastic.
Yeah, and it's even better when you go inside to the Mystic Mansion.
That's not a castle though. So shut up.
It's part of the same fucking geometry. There's also a cavern in there, like a fucking
You're in the
deep
castle
cave.
at the end as well.
Yeah, and it's peak.
And it's really cool. Some really neat storytelling.
Heroes has some of the best environment designs in Sonic, and that's just facts.
I'm sure someone will fight you, but I won't.
Well, yeah, because the people that will fight me will be like, "What about Frontiers?" And do you guys really
what
think?
about Frontiers?
Do you guys really think Frontiers has some of the best environment design in Sonic when it is just grass, sand, and rock with lava? That is quite literally the environments of Frontiers. Oh, it also has Green Hill, Chemical Plant, and Sky Sanctuary. My bad.
There's also a city.
There's also City, which has the fan-given name of, I believe it's like Digital Highway or something. I don't know exactly.
I like to think of it as I can't believe it's not Empire City.
I can't believe it's not insert city level from Sonic, because it's literally just like an amalgamation of shit, is what it feels like.
Yeah. I love Frontiers, man.
Frontiers is fun. It's also stupid. Yeah, the one
I like
thing
the
that...
sun effects on this level.
Oh yeah, dude, the general graphics of this game.
They were really trying with the art style on this. Commendable
They
effort.
They said that most of their budget from the massive good sales of Episode 1 went into the graphics. And yeah, you can tell. This game is gorgeous. I have not
this
much
is the
to
closest we have to a continuation of Sonic Advance 3.
That's what I'm fucking saying. It's like that goes back to my whole fucking argument from a second ago. I just want a new modern Sonic 2D Sonic game that does something new with the fucking gameplay. And this is all that I have. And it's sad.
When this is like one of the last ones that was made, I'm okay with it dying.
I'm not okay with it dying because this was the last one that was made. Because it's like barely, it's like light Sonic Advance 3 is what it feels like.
Look, I'm more just making the argument here. Sometimes at some point this blue rodent needs to die.
No. Then we wouldn't have Sonic Unleashed if this rodent died. So
Look, think about it like this. Mega Man died. And now we have all these wonderful games taking the cool ideas of Mega Man and doing something much better with it.
Well, yeah, we also have that for Sonic, but you refuse to acknowledge them.
Well, because half of them are unfinished and I'm not playing an engine test. Okay?
Half of them are unfinished. Freedom Planet 1 and 2, Spark the Electric Jester, the entire series. Penny's Big Breakaway.
Spark
You
1 and half of
refuse
Spark 2.
to acknowledge this series of fantastic
acknowledging
games.
them. But you see, we can have more.
There's also a lot more that I'm not even bringing up.
No, you're full of shit.
I am not full of shit. There's plenty of momentum platformers
Guys,
inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog.
In the comments, just defend me. He be capping.
Dude, even fucking the Tori 3D series is inspired by 3D Sonic. It's much slower paced, but it is very much inspired by 3D Sonic. It's literally, it's like a 3D platformer series where it's just like straight obstacle course type
See,
stuff.
You lost me when you said 3D platformer.
But it plays like a slower paced Boost Sonic game. Essentially. Or a Sonic Adventure 2. You have Lunistus, which is a great 3D platformer inspired by Sonic Adventure 2 and other such things, but it's much slower paced. There's a lot of stuff inspired by Sonic that already exists because nobody is satisfied with the state of Sonic because everyone has their own opinion on what they want from Sonic, and that's great. That's wonderful. But I'm sick and tired of Sonic fans not acknowledging the efforts of indie game devs making good shit. Because it doesn't have the blue fucker's face on it. Sorry.
I'll acknowledge there's good stuff out there. Whether or not I play it is a different story.
Okay, you're the one that was like, oh, but like Mega Man, it has great stuff from people doing spiritual successors. Clearly, that's not what you want for Sonic. You just want more Sonic.
You see, here's the thing. Mega Man as a franchise pisses me off because every single game has at least one element that I really like, and then 10 elements I really dislike.
So Sonic.
No. Like most games, I just like most of the way through, one way or another. You know, I feel starved for Mega Man content that's to my taste. Sonic, I don't, because there's so many games with this blue fucker in it. I don't feel like I'm hurting to play them, especially because I haven't even played them all.
Sonic?
I'll admit this. I'm in a completely different situation from you. So like, I do not share a lot of your frustrations, and so I don't know where I'm going with this anymore.
I do get what you're saying. I just think my frustrations are purely with Sonic fans who refuse to accept anything that doesn't have Sonic's face on it, you know? Because I love Sonic too. He's my favorite. I love him to death. But that don't mean that there ain't better shit out there. And I like to acknowledge that when it happens, which is why I immediately did the Penny's Big Breakaway Let's Play. And I will be doing commentaries for stuff like Freedom Planet and Spark at some point, whenever I get into the mood to play those again.
Ooh, I can do Spark 1, and that's it.
Yeah, you can have Spark 1 if you want.
Yay.
I think Spark 1 is far better than Spark 2, but Spark 3 easily clears both of them. But that's like I get the with Freedom Planet and Spark 1, I got like what I basically always wanted from a new 2D Sonic game, and that's just like a fully fresh take on that sort of gameplay style. And you know, if that's where I have to get it, then so be it. I still want Sonic to try at some point, you know.
Mm-hmm. Again, like, it just helps that, at least for me, I haven't even played all the games. I haven't finished Advance 3. I haven't finished Advance 2.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played Lost World 3DS. I haven't played Rivals. I haven't played most of the 8-bit games. There's still content for me, you know?
Yeah, I have played everything that there is for Sonic. Mm-hmm. The only Sonic game I really haven't beaten, I think, is Spinball. So I'll do that at some point. I did get pretty far into Spinball at one point, but I just never finished it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, why would you?
I don't... Honestly, like, after you get used to it, there's some fun to be had. It's not the best, but, you know, it's something.
It's Tom Payne's masterpiece.
It's the Sega Technical Institute's masterpiece. Even over Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Did Sega Technical Institute make Sonic 3?
They
or
helped?
Is it just... Oh, I thought it was just Sonic Team purely.
Sonic 2 was the first... like, that game was Yuji Naka working with the American Sega Technical Institute.
Right, that was full STI.
Yeah, with Yuji Naka as well, and some of the Sonic
Well, he was
Team
basically
staff.
a member of STI, so it was STI.
Yeah. Well, they still call it Sonic Team at the beginning, but 3 and Knuckles.
No one talks about STI.
3 and
Hey,
Knuckles.
remember that pitch theme?
Yeah, and it's peak. I would love... Like, I have my own ideas for an Episode 3 fan game, but I would seriously love for someone to just to do that and release it one day, and I would be the happiest person. Make it full of dumb jokes like this, where Eggman is teasing that he's going to do the Aquatic Ruin boss, but then he doesn't. And shit like that. I want it.
I don't even think I realized this was the Aquatic Ruin boss when I played it, because I hadn't played Aquatic Ruin, because I couldn't beat Chemical Plant.
For me, it was Casino Night.
Can you believe I beat Sonic Unleashed before Chemical Plant?
Yes, and that explains a lot.
Can't tell if I suck or I'm good at these games.
I think you're good at a select few. And that's the only time I'll ever call you good at anything.
I'm better at Metroid 2 than you, bitch.
Debatable.
Well, when you have a full complete playthrough, you come crying.
Do you have a full complete playthrough?
Give me like
at this moment?
Give me 2 weeks. Give me like 2 weeks. Autoerotic asphyxiation is not okay.
Okay, yeah. So another
Just kidding,
thing.
I won't kink shame.
Another thing that makes episode 2 worse is the bosses. These suck. These are boring.
Yeah, but they look neat.
They have great designs. And I do think episode 2 is actually really good at like environmental storytelling. Like all throughout this first zone, we had like the Death Egg Mark II in the background. And then in like the next stages, we're going to see it in the background, and it's more constructed. It's more built up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fucking awesome. But, you know, yeah, the episode 2 is a lot more, I want to say style over substance than episode 1, which is weird to say. But episode 1, I think, has more going for it in terms of just basic gameplay, which I know everyone disagrees with me, but we'll get into that more in the next part.